Hello folks, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to go through the freezer and the cupboards to see what food we can use up for this weekend. I'm on a pantry challenge and I'm going to improvise on dishes, and if you have any advice for me on doing that, please let me know. So let's check out the freezer first. Now first thing I'm going to do is go through the freezer and see what I can cook up to prep ahead for this weekend. Now, these have been in here for 2 months. Seems like it anyway, maybe a month and a half. These are crispy chicken strips that I bought from Walmart. So I'm going to cook these babies up, and I'm going to cook up the tater tots. You can use these at breakfast. They're just like hash browns. Yeah. So that for sure. And I need to cook some fish this weekend. Yes, I'll be using some salmon this weekend. And these are like cookies. My husband gets in here when he gets his sweet tooth going. I've still got some of that delicious apple pie left in there. Oh my, it was going fast, so I put some in the freezer. There's some stuffing there. We have quite a bit in the freezer. This is the Buckeye dough, peanut butter dough. I made this back in early fall, I believe, right around the time the football games were starting. So I'm going to make little hearts with this. And I have a little bit of chocolate chips I can dip it in. I'm going to make Buckeye hearts. That's my plan. And then put them back in the freezer for Valentine's Day. We still have that corn. I want to use that up. Also, and plenty of berries. I want to make a blackberry pie. Oh, this gives me a great idea. So, yeah, for this weekend. What I can cook up. Oh, yeah. And use what's in my freezer first. Let's see what we have in the dining room. Oh my goodness. This butternut squash is starting to get a little soft. I need to use this up. The acorn squash, this is fine. It's still very hard. I can hold off on that one. This one I need to roast today, and I'll be doing that because I can make I make cheesy noodles with any kind of pumpkin or squash. So he likes cheesy noodles. He doesn't like macaroni for some reason. See here, the bananas are still green, so they're fine. This orange is getting old. I need to eat that today. And these apples, I'm thinking they're getting soft. I need to use these today. If not today, then tomorrow for Waldorf salad. I've got walnuts, so that's what we'll make with that. That's the plan, folks. So I need to turn on the oven. So I'm preheating the oven to 400 Fahrenheit. I'm just going to put the chicken strips and the tater tots in the oven at the same time and leave the tater tots in longer because they're really supposed to be at a temperature of 425, but if I leave them in longer, they'll crisp up. The fruit I'm going to be using for this weekend, I just put it right by my stove to remind me that I'm going to be working with this. I'm going to eat up this orange for breakfast. And cut up this and get this ready and peel the apples. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Yeah, today's Thursday. I think I can wait till tomorrow for that. All right, then that's on the plan. I'm working with this right away as soon as I'm done baking the chicken and tater tots. I'm just pulling out the walnuts for the Waldorf salad, which provides a nice crunch along with the apples. I've got celery, which I can use in the Waldorf salad also. It's getting old, so I need to use it up. And I've got grapes. That's great for Waldorf salad. Now let's see how much mayonnaise we have. We have a little bit. My husband bought some recently. He considers it an important item and that he doesn't want to do without. The oven is preheated, so I'm going to put the chicken and tater tots in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. I have in my very cool back room, we keep it very cold back here. We don't heat this room at all. We have flour and sugar and oranges that we got from Aldi last week, I believe. We did buy a little bit of produce, not much. And sweet potatoes. This is from what I grew. This is what's left. So I just check these to make sure they don't have any. They look like bad spots, but they're not. These are still good, and it's very cool back here. I may use some of these sweet potatoes. You know, when I make the salmon, that a baked Sweet potato would be good with salmon. I thought these oranges looked awfully big. My husband picked up this bag. He thought they were oranges, but he didn't check the bag thoroughly. It says grapefruit. Oh my goodness. This is red, Texas red grapefruit. So that's what we'll be eating quite a bit of for our fruit through the month of January. My grandmother used to use grapefruit as a diet food, and she lost weight on the grapefruit diet. So I might try that. Who knows? I'm not making any promises now, but I'm going to be eating some grapefruit. So is my husband. Now I'm getting ready to prep my butternut squash. So as soon as I take the tater tots out of the oven, well, first I'm going to take the chicken out, then the tater tots. This baby's going in, so I need to prep it. Yeah, I've already washed it off a little bit, but we don't use the peelings. You can, if they're tender enough, you can eat the peelings. It's not that big, but this is my last squash. I grew this, so I'm kind of proud of it. My little baby. Isn't that funny? I grew this squash. Now, the acorn squash I bought from Aldi, but this butternut squash, this was my largest one, I believe. They didn't get very big this year, but hopefully next year. So I'm going to work on fertilizing a little bit better. Yeah. I don't have the lighting system down in the basement to grow starter plants. That's it. I don't have the capacity for that right now. In the future, maybe. I may be 70 years old before I do that. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Now, speaking of removing something from the oven, the chicken is ready to be removed. I will use this over the weekend. I think in an Asian dish, I can make a stir fry and some fried rice. That would be delicious. Or just plain rice, plain white rice. But I have peppers and onions. That will be good for a stir fry. Peppers, I don't have very many onions, but I have carrots, yeah. Green peppers and carrots. So the tater tots need to go back in. I'm going to spread those around. They need to brown up some more, just for a few minutes. In the meanwhile, I need to cut that butternut squash. So let's cut off the stem. All right. Whoops, this table's wobbly. Okay. All right, now I'm going to cut it in half. This is the sharpest knife I have, so hopefully it will work. Here we go. Not very many seeds in this one. It's starting to dry out a little. No, this is still good. Once you roast it, it will be soft and good to go. I may take a little bite just to be on the safe side, to make sure. I'm just going to scoop out a tiny little bite. Okay, let's try it. Tastes fine to me. It has a little bit of a cantaloupe taste. Hey, I think it's pretty good. Yep, we'll be working with it. All right, I just washed my hands. So I'm going to be working with this and getting these seeds out of here. I did take the tater tots out of the oven, but the oven's still on and waiting for the butternut squash to go in. And it will take, at 400, it will take about 45 minutes. About 45 minutes. This is pretty small, so that should be fine. And then I'm hoping I can just smash it up with a potato smasher. So I'm just removing these seeds with a small spoon. Here we go. This is pretty no nonsense here. My husband just loves my squash pancakes. Pumpkins, original from a pumpkin pancake recipe, yeah. And I use squash. I've even used sweet potatoes for pancakes. So he ate them all up about 2 weeks ago from the freezer. We put them in little baggies in the freezer. We love our pancakes here. Just going to put these tater tots in this bowl here. I'm going to put them face down. And they're going straight to the oven as soon as I grab a mitt, because this pan's hot. Oh, it'll be way later when I bring these out. I may show you. I'll show you. Don't worry. I don't know what we're going to do in between. I'll do something and I'll put you on hold, I guess. So that will be about 20 after, according to the OSU clock. I've got a couple items here that I can use for this weekend that are already cooked. Tater tots and chicken tenders. So I'll just stick them in the refrigerator. It makes it so much easier to prep ahead. And I'll prep meat ahead. I'm fine with that. I'm not one to cook meat in front of people. Besides fish, maybe. I don't know why I'm weird about that. It's probably because I'm not vegan, I'm not a vegetarian, but I am a flexitarian. And I just don't like to mess with meat too much. Yeah, and I don't eat very many mammals. We usually, if we eat ground meat, it's usually turkey, ground turkey. And we did eat ham. We did have ham during Christmas, but of course that was already to go. We still have some ham left, in fact. It's in the freezer. So I'll be using that. I'm thinking about Warsu Guy for the chicken tenders. I could cut them in small pieces, and I'm pretty sure there was some ham or pork, but I'm going to try it and see for this weekend and do some Asian food. We also, tomorrow I'd like to cook the pink salmon. Yeah. And I guess I'll cook about half a package, and we'll have a good meal with baked sweet potatoes and broccoli. I have some frozen broccoli in the freezer. I think it might have a little cheese packet with it. So that will be real tasty. So probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I like to have fish on Friday, but it might be Saturday. I've got a food schedule. I've got a menu written up, but I'm very flexible with it. So, but I do plan ahead with the food that I have, and I write up a meal plan. I just don't always follow it to a T, but I use what I have in my refrigerator, and I use up the oldest items first. At least I try to. That's the way to do it. Please let me know if you know anything about Warsu Guy and how it should be prepared with the chicken. Yeah, I'd like to know. And any other ideas you have, because I can use all the help I can get. I have the talent for cooking, and I love cooking, but sometimes I forget to do this and that, and I don't always follow recipes like I should, but I need your input, so please let me know how I can make my food better. Yes, folks, I was just on the internet. Warsu Guy does not contain pork. Now, years ago, back in the 80s, I went to a restaurant downtown Columbus that they did have a little pork in their gravy. Little pork pieces like ham or bacon, whatever it was. It was delicious, but we don't need that. We don't need to add any meat to Warsu Guy. So just make basically a chicken gravy with sliced almonds. So I can use mushrooms too, but I'm saving my mushrooms for another dish. Oh, the squash is done. Oh, I can't wait to show you. Took it straight out of the oven, and it is soft just the way it is. I'll just smash this up. I may not even have to puree it. And it's too hot to work with right now, but this looks great. So I'll be using this for this weekend. So we have quite a bit we're prepping with. Thanks for hanging out in the kitchen with me today as I went through to use my pantry and my freezer to gather the food that we need to eat for this pantry challenge without going to the grocery store. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you on the next one.